Last night I woke up around 3:30 a.m. and couldn't get back to sleep. While it's common for me to wake up, I usually get back to sleep in less than 10 minutes. This morning was different, and I had the distinct feeling someone was watching me. So much so that I got up to turn on the lights, just to check to see that there was nothing there. The morning was filled with unusual noises which startled me. Then around 6 I finally get to sleep. Just a few minutes into my sleep I wake up suddenly and violently. I can't stand, and I hear a very loud beeping noise. I can't even open my eyes. I'm terrified. The beeping noise sounds like it's coming from a sci-fi movie, and it's getting louder and louder. As it does, my whole body starts to burn. It's a searing pain that's very intense and very hard to describe. I get a very strong feeling that I'm dying, and I pray, which isn't unusual, but it's not abundantly common. The beeping noise stops, but my body still aches and I still can't move. Then it starts up again, and it's even worse this time. It continues again, and then I get a vivid image of a map with my location, which is Texas, on it, before finally waking up in a sweat. I have only had sleep paralysis once, and it's never caused me physical pain like this. This is also the first I've had where my eyes were closed. Have any of y'all ever experienced anything like this, or have any tips of dealing with it? I'm worried I won't sleep again tonight. I am very sensitive to a different phenomenon. My friends like to call me a magnet of fear. If they want to experience something, they make sure I am there. But this experience I was alone. I was merely 16 years old at the time. I woke up to the doorknob of my door shaking as if someone was trying to get into it. I tried to turn my head but was unable to. In fact, I couldn't move any part of my body at all. Next thing I knew, I heard a faint female scream. The screams started as though they were far away, but they crept in slowly. I was so scared. I wanted to throw my blanket over my face, but again, I just couldn't move. The screaming progressed where it was right in my ear. I got goosebumps and could feel the air hitting my face. It felt like it went on forever, but couldn't have been more than a minute or so. Once it stopped, I slowly gained control of my limbs again. I can't express how terrifying this was for me. I still to this day can't explain it. I sat up, blinked a couple times to see if I was awake, even slapped my leg pretty hard. Once I realized I wasn't dreaming, I stayed up for the rest of the night trying to figure out what the heck had happened. I still can't explain this situation, and it's been about 10 years now. This happened when I was about 13 years old. I remember clearly my sister was sleeping with me for some reason, but she was laying down on my left side. I was pretty tired that night, and I remember drifting away to sleep, when out of nowhere, I feel as if someone is on my right side, so I open my eyes. My instinct told me to open them for some reason. So, as soon as I opened them, I saw a girl in front of me, within feet. She looked about 10, no more than 12 years old. She was wearing a long white gown, and had a very long dark hair. She ran towards me and got on top of me, and I saw her hands were covering my mouth. I was in total paralysis. I couldn't move at all. I couldn't even speak, and I remember trying so hard to get my sister to wake up. I remember yelling her name in my head, yet no words were coming out of my mouth. Then my mom's cell phone rang, and I remember that got me out of the sleep paralysis. I remember yelling for my mother so loud. I explained to her what happened, but she just shrugged it off as me having a nightmare, when I clearly remember not even being asleep when this happened. I have a couple more stories that I'll be sharing with you soon, but this one is definitely probably one of the ones that affect me the most and I think about the most. My grandma's house is very old and all of the rooms look like something out of the 60s, and she had a room called the Purple Room, that I slept in when my family would visit her. It isn't the best room of all time, but the beds are comfy at least. But it has this eerie chair that I haven't seen anyone sit in since photos from like the 80s. And one night, I was having your usual nightmare, but this dream was about a place I had been to just recently. It was my old preschool, and it was all run down and beat up. Our car stopped in front of it, and the door slowly opened up to reveal what seemed like a 12-foot black figure with blood-red eyes. It scared the life out of me, and when I woke up, the first thing I saw was the creature sitting in the chair mocking me. It then stood up and started walking towards me. I couldn't move because of sleep paralysis, and the last thing I saw before I snapped out of it was it staring at me with a large, disturbing smile on its face. It's something that I'll never forget, and it's burned into my memory. So I had this nightmare a few years back, and it's still not leaving my head. I was living alone at the time in a one-bedroom apartment. In my dream, I first just walked into my apartment seeing a man in my bathroom. But it wasn't scary at this point. The next scene of my dream was me laying in my bed, just like I did in this very moment. But there was this woman sitting at the end of my bed. She had long, dark hair and wasn't particularly creepy looking. She looked a bit ill maybe, but the vibes she sent off were not good at all. So, in my dream, I just started to talk to her. So I guess I wasn't really paralyzed at this point, or maybe I just didn't recognize. She was speaking in a friendly tone, but I remember thinking I just couldn't buy it. When I told her about the man in my bathroom, she suddenly jumped at me quickly and sat on my chest. Somehow, what I told her made her upset in a way. Her face was so close to mine, I started to panic. That's where I continuously and concisely felt the paralysis. Out of my panic, I almost screamed at myself in my head. I needed to wake up. When I woke up, of course, no one was there, but I was in the exact same position I was in my dream. By some coincidence, I read about this phenomenon called the night hag a long time after I had this dream, and wondered if someone maybe had a similar experience or could tell me what it's supposed to mean to see a night hag. It's one of the creepiest experiences I've ever had. I've had more sleep paralysis episodes since then, but nothing like that one. Personally, I've only ever experienced sleep paralysis once or twice, and to be honest, it was pretty darn scary. If you would like me to share my personal stories with sleep paralysis in a future episode, be sure to hit that like button and comment down below, letting me know you would like to hear them. Much love to the subscribers who sent in their experiences, and much appreciation to Quipster Puck, The Dark Narrator, Horror by the Numbers, and Gothic Rose Narrations for helping me make this video possible for you all today. Please check out each of their channels and subscribe to them. You can find their links in the description down below. As always, if you have a story you would like to share on a future episode of the show, be sure to submit your story at swampdweller.net or the email you can find in the description down below. Be sure to hit that like button if you like these stories, and subscribe to my channel for more. I upload new videos almost every single day, and all things natural and supernatural. I'll see you guys soon with another creepy video.